how's it going, YouTube? Durian here, and today I'm gonna go over my 5 top wish list things for the new set coming out alongside the new hero feline, which is the Adventures of a Tiny Hero. So let's check out my top 5 things. Number 1, I want to see stronger units. For the past 4 months, we've been stuck in Haunted by Memories, the action-heavy meta, and it is pretty interesting, but I, at least personally, much prefer the back and forth, the strategy around playing units and unit combat. So I want to see stronger units so we can help push the action meta away. Just scoot it to the side a bit. We've had enough of it. And so that's why personally I thought Ascend was the coolest mechanic ever, because it allowed you to do a lot more mind games in terms of just pure unit combat. So I'd kind of like, stronger units and maybe bring Ascend back just a little bit. Just give me a little bit of Ascend. We would be super happy. So that's my first one, the main one, I think, right? I just want to see a mix-up. I'm happy to see the decks that are currently very good, like Denjin Renki, Charge Shot, all the action-heavy decks, Rakuhoha. I'm happy with them staying good. But I want to see some new stuff that at least is on par or maybe a little bit better, and just kind of shake. We need a big shake-up, like a huge shake-up. Because if it feels the same as the last 4 months, it's gonna be kind of a downer. Number 2, the second thing that I would hope they really carry on from Haunted by Memories is buffing, improving old archetypes. And this especially rings true with Charge Shot, Denjin Renki, because they were just not good, not really playable for a long time, and HBM said, we're going to give you dedicated, specific support, and that worked out excellently for them. As you can tell with all those decks running around on the meta, I mean, Zero is new, but the love that the old decks are getting is absolutely fantastic. Wish number 3 is my boy Dante. Personally, I have no huge attachment to Dante, but he's cool. I know people love him, and he does not have enough love in Teppen, and he needs some love. So my third thing is I want to see Dante buffs, or Dante total overhaul, because his skills are just not really up to snuff, and they're not particularly exciting and fun ones in my opinion either. So we've got, just to go over them really quick, we've got Quicksilver, granting slow, and that unit can counter. I think this ability is really cool, it's really unique, but if you compare it to other similar abilities like Dark Destruction or Shinku Hadoken or Rakuhoha, all these things cost around the same AP, 18 AP, and they just straight up destroy the unit. There's none of this oh, we're gonna make it slow and it can't counter, and it's like bullet time. But it's really, comparatively, it's really bad. So it needs to be targeting more, it needs to do more, or cost less, something like that, because there's no reason to run Quicksilver over even options in the same color right above him, Morrigan, Shadowblade. Yeah, it's just Quicksilver. It's a cool idea, but it needs a serious buff or a serious rework. We've got Ebony and Ivory, aka really bad Charge Shot. Not really, but it's very similar to Charge Shot, because Charge Shot is basically the only way it became relevant was by adding all these Resonate +1 HP things. So now they're all Resonate +1/+1, and you just pop, and it's cheaper than Ebony and Ivory by 3 AP, which makes it easier to get off, and more consistent, especially with X giving buffs to the whole team, the 4-cost X, right? So there's nothing like that for Ebony and Ivory. So you could have maybe 2 Resonate units, but not a lot of Resonate units get HP, and the ones that do get HP, you don't really need them to get more HP. It's not like super duper useful for them to get more HP. So it's kind of in this awkward zone. And I would love to see this changed, or the AP reduced, or some like new cool resonate effects coming out that can really like bring it over the top, kind of like what we saw with Charge Shot. And then Devil Trigger, I don't know, like I really just don't know. Like, it just personally feels like a worse temptation to me, because it's better in some senses because you can't get burned, but like, what's a dungeon player gonna do? Like, it's just gonna, oh yeah, I'll just wait here until that runs out and then I'll burn you, you know. I don't think it has a major impact. It's cheap, which is like, okay, the impact's not really there, but it's cheap, so it kind of works out. And I don't want to ramble too long, but I feel like when the Dante that I know of is like from fighting games, and then like when he gets the transformation, like he's really strong and powerful, and like this kind of just does nothing. He's like, oh yeah, I'm just, you can't touch me, which is like, it's not very cool and exciting for a transformation. So I'd love to see Dante's like whole kit kind of reworked, or like super buffed or something. Speaking of changing forms, I mean, this is not really Dante. This is like 3.5 wishlist. Change form needs some love too, man. Like, the ones that the hero arts that change form, they should be like super cool, but they're not. They're not. Okay, yeah, 3. That's 3. Dante needs some love. Make these kind of change form things super cool. Make them feel feel good, not like do nothing. Sorry, before I go off this one, what if they made like the hero, you could only use it, was like a bunch of AP, like maybe like 30 AP or something. You could only use it once, but it just like changed you into new hero or like completely changed you, or like I don't know. Just an idea. Number 4 is no more Resonate. Okay, Gung Ho, play Teppen. Resonate is cool, but there's too much of this, like, I'm gonna play 1 Resonate creature or 2 Resonate creatures, and then you're not gonna be able to do anything, and I'm just gonna counter everything you do, and it's not fun. And I think Charge Shot is an interesting case where it's like weak enough. It's like, it's susceptible enough to removal that it seems more reasonable, but it also like totally steamrolls when you can't deal with it, which is pretty interesting. But I do think decks like that should exist, but like, we don't need more of them, is what I mean. Like, we've got X, that's pretty cool. If Purple Resonate comes back a little bit, I'm not going to complain, as long as it's like totally uninteractive. But that's really all we need. We don't need more Resonate. So, no Resonate. Let's keep it's good as is. We'll keep it there. All right, my fifth and final thing is going to be Flight. And so I looked up all the Flight cards. Of course, there's some anti-Flight cards here, like Ken and whatnot, but there's so many Flight cards. I know that a lot of people have problems with it. I don't personally have, like, I've not felt too bad about losing to Flight decks. I think aggro decks just exist, and that's a thing. And it should be a thing, and there should be cheap decks that exist that people can play and do well, and Flight is one of those. So I would say, like, I think Flight is okay, but I think we are starting to hit the tipping point where there's maybe too much, and then, like, especially if more cards like Valstrax come around, that could spell disaster. So hopefully we'll be seeing less Flight. Now, bringing it back to point number one, you guys remember stronger units. Rather than Flight, I want to see a lot more Pierce, a lot more heavy Pierce. So the reason for that is because I think it's a lot more interactive, right? Because your opponent is like, well, I could play a blocker, but it could just die, and like, I still take the damage. And I think that kind of mechanic is also very interesting. It can be kind of feels bad if you don't have anything, like if nothing in your hand can like trade, but I kind of prefer that over Flight, which is a little less interactive. At least you've got the option to like throw down units and pick away at this Pierce unit's HP. But of course, if there's too much of it, it's kind of like Flight. It could be a problem. It's also like, I find Pierce more interesting because it's more of like a, well, if I don't destroy it on my attack specifically, it's not as useful. So you need to time things a little better and figure out that kind of micro of unit combat. So I like that. So I'd like to see, hopefully not too much flying, but I'd like to see more Pierce options on like aggro decks, because I think that's much more interesting from a having fun and playing standpoint. So that is that. All right, that was my top 5. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments. Do you agree with me? You know, tell me which ones you agree with, which ones you don't agree with. I'd like to hear your things, hear all your thoughts, and anything I didn't cover that you're like, oh, you know, Durian, bad. We gotta unsubscribe now because he didn't mention this one thing that Teppen really needs, like spectator mode. But that's not really in the set, okay? Spectator mode, I agree with spectator mode. I don't know why we don't have it. I would love it. But yeah, spectator mode would be nice. But yeah, let me know what you guys are hoping for in the new set. I'm very excited. There's been some content creator reveals. And I'm not gonna cover those. I'm just gonna wait until like the full thing's out and maybe do like a full set and like my first impression top cards kind of thing. That's all I got. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for making it this far. Try to keep things a little quick. Gotta stop clapping on the table because it makes the mic not happy. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. So keep on learning. Keep on having fun with me right here on the Durian channel. And have a wonderful day. Peace.